단체전 토론팀 인천 마전 캠퍼스 강지원, 권민서, 심지현, 양수린, 최연재, 홍세아 학생의 토론을 시작하겠습니다.
All right. Okie dokie. In our third portion of our contest today, we are going to get into some debate. So first of all, we have our debate team up here. Can we give them a big round of applause, please? Okay, so I will be hosting this debate competition. So let's get started with the debate. All right? As you can see on the screen, the debate topic is books are better than movie adaptations. We have two sides today. The government side, where's the government side?
Here it is.
Government side. And the government side will debate for the idea. And we also have the opposition side, which will debate against the idea. I wish both teams the best of luck, and may the best team prevail. All right. The first speaker for the government can step forward to the podium now. When you are ready, you can begin.
Each word has its own breath. It breathes and grows and comes to life as you read them one by one. Together, a garden full of flowers bloom in your mind, and you and I become artists. We can paint beautiful scenes and characters and feel the complex emotions of the pages as the book begins to unfold. Honorable panel, fellow debaters, nowadays, many people enjoy stories in our leisure time. Our team strongly believes that books are better than movies. The first reason is you have to actually put two brain cells together to read and comprehend the book. The reader has to concentrate on what's being said and to think through concepts in the book. The second reason is the story gets lost in movies. When watching a movie, you want drama. You want something to be happening because sitting there just watching people walk around and gets boring fast. Third, movie watching is very passive. When it comes book through, you have all the inner dialogue. You have the character's thoughts and feelings that aren't spoken. You know what's going through their heads. A lot of gets lost in the movie because they don't have the time to put it in a 1.5-hour video. This is why books are better than movies.
All right. Will the first speaker now for the opposition step forward to the podium? You can begin when you are ready.
Honorable panel and fellow debaters, thank you for our invitation to speak here today. We will be arguing that while books have their merits, the entertainment medium of film is superior to that of print. Hereafter, we will call this film and print. We will argue that films are a more realistic form of entertainment for people to consume on a daily basis. And the films allows more information and a more subtle, immersive experience to be created as compared to print. We will also highlight a problem with print that is already self-evident. Claiming to prefer books as compared to movies makes people think that they are showing themselves to be more intelligent. But this is not the case in reality. And most importantly, books and movies are not mutually exclusive. Nevertheless, film as an entertainment medium is discriminated against by people trying to appear intellectual. Thank you.
All right. Now, will the second speaker for the government please step forward to the podium now? You can begin when you are ready.
First, the story we read from a book is unique to us. For example, if we all read The Great Gatsby, We will all understand and imagine the story, scenery, characters, plot, and twists very differently. This is a positive characteristic of books. But in a movie, there is only one perspective. There is director's final perspective. For example, in The Great Gatsby, the director transformed the movie into a love story, but in the book, the story was about amazing wealth, money, materialism, and many more life events. We must all agree that his perspective was the most accurate, but usually when we watch a movie based on a book, the movie is very different from what we read. Secondly, books increase our writing skills. Because when we read books, there are many styles of sentences, and authors are all different as well. We get new ideas on how to write sentences using similes, metaphors, and vocabulary, etc. If we read lots of books, our writing skills will increase. Yes.
4D movies are more realistic than books. On books too limited,
Books are more thorough. They create the background sentence by sentence, line by line. So we can create our own more detailed picture of the scenery and make it more creative and imaginative. We can also feel like we're the main characters and feel like we're more directly involved in the story. Third, books are freely available at the community library and school. If you're a student on a low budget, there will be no problem in reading books. It is one of the most economical ways to expand your mind. Thank you.
Thank you. The second speaker for the opposition can now step forward to the podium. You can begin when you are ready.
anybody who has not read a good book in their life have totally missed the remarkable experience. However, our fellow debate team does not properly acknowledge that film is a much more effective entertainment medium for most people on a daily basis. Our argument here is simple. Aggrandized ideas about the virtue of books versus movie, such as our opposition preset, are invalid because they don't represent what people actually choose. Reading appears far more virtuous than watching a film, but on an everyday basis, it is clear that far more people choose to watch movies than to read books. Many people lead busy and hectic lives, and films are a far more time-efficient solution. Yes.
Are movies too expensive to make and watch? To watch a movie costs 8,000 won in a theater, and we don't even get to keep a copy.
Yes.
Isn't it a lot of wasted money?
Movies are more expensive to make, but have richer visual effects, special effects, sounds, and better character representation, meaning it is the cost because viewers have added benefits and enjoyment. We can see the problem with reading versus watching movies in how people vote with their feet, what they actually choose to do. 2 hours of reading does not bring as much enjoyment and relaxation as watching a 2-hour duration film. And if you are stressed, it can be difficult to relax yourself enough to read without being distracted. With mobile phones, movies are now constantly at our fingertips.
Thank you. Will the third speaker now for the government please step forward to the podium? You can begin when you are ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, and fellow debaters, I think books are better than movies. There are many reasons for this. First, when we watch movies, what we imagine is limited in just a scene. We can't expand our imagination. But books give us chances to imagine many directions. We can use our mind's eye when we read books. Our mind's eye allows us to see things inside our imagination while reading a book. This ability is necessary for creativity. Secondly, books have more details. Movies show their own scenes and skip scenes very fast due to time restrictions. But books have the advantage of being able to describe everything in greater depth. Third, lots of movies focus on being commercial, compromising on quality. For example, Harry Potter series is very commercial these days. Finally, books improve your vocabulary. Movies just have sounds and it plays too fast. But books include many new words that we need to learn to understand the story. When we read books, we can talk about books to each other more than movies. Thank you. Do you have any POIs?
Here,
Okay.
I think the books are more difficult to understand. What do you think?
Books have more detail so it can be more complicated to understand, but movies often leave out those details in order to simplify. So I think that makes them equally difficult to understand.
Thank you very much. I call upon the third speaker now for the opposition to step forward to the podium now. You can begin when you are ready.
We acknowledge fully that books and films are very different mediums. But films, as an artistic medium, is often discredited unfairly. In truth, there is a huge amount of information that can be conveyed across a film that cannot be conveyed in print. Subtext is an important example of this. Subtext is the space between the lines of a story which the reader or viewer invited to feel in for themselves. This makes the story more popular and is very important for the immersion of the viewer. To quote the film director Andrei Tarkovsky, when less than everything has been said about subject, you can still think on it further. The alternative is for the audience to be presented with a fond dedication with no effort on their parts. What can it mean to them when they have mastered the misery and joy of bringing an image into being? Yes.
Movies are prepared creations. We do not create anything ourselves. We lose our creative ability and limit our mental powers.
There is a lot of stuff left out in movies, so we have to use our brains to extrapolate or sense what will happen within the plot of a movie. Films effectively conveys much more information than books, giving far more details and far more immersive experience. The viewer is thinking what is the character thinking? Why is a facial expression like that? For example, in a book, the reader needs to know what the point of view character knows. So this information is laid out and explained. This is far less delicate and shows that the printed verse has its limitations as well. Our argument is not that books do not have their merits, but the film certainly has advantage over print. And many people claim to prefer books out of a sense of autism, stating that it will make them appear more intelligent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you guys. Thank all of you for your insight and answers. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was quite the heated debate, wasn't it? Let's give these guys a round of applause. Now, before we hear the closing statements, let me ask each team one more critical question. And let's start with the opposition team first. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. All right, for the opposition team, here's the question. Movies contain the true message of a book. For example, The Great Gatsby was a book written about an exceptional life, but the movie version showed it as a materialistic and over-romanticized story. Do you think too many movies can ruin the soul of a true story?
Movies still live a lot of things because it's only 1.5 hours long. This means we have no choice but to use our imagination while watching the movies. There's a lot of subplots that the viewers have to think about.
Thank you very much for your answer. Now, for the government team. Many books that have been turned into movies have been written from a different era of time. Using The Great Gatsby again as an example. It was written 92 years ago, before inventions like the internet and the smartphone. Keeping that in mind, are books really compatible with today's faster, modern lifestyle? Is it too time-consuming to read a whole book?
I think it is true that books take longer to read, but this means we also learn more and get more satisfaction from reading and that have more details and thoughts. So I believe we invest more time and get more value back per hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your answer. Okay, now each team will present their closing arguments. The government will give their closing argument first. You can begin when you are ready.
We had a debate about books and books for rehabilitation. First, let me thank you for your passionate discussion. To repeat our team's opinion, our team still thinks that books are more advantageous than the movies. Books will be a part of our lives forever. They have been with us in the best of times and the worst of times, in the age of wisdom and the age of fleshness, the fog of belief and the fog of incredulity, during times of light and darkness. Therefore, books will stay with us in the digital age and far beyond. Thank you.
Now, the opposition will give their closing argument. You can begin when you are ready.
Books are very important. We agree with that. We are not arguing that film should replace books. We are illustrating that print does have its limitations and that these should be acknowledged. In the modern world, film as an entertainment medium is more relevant. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much for your answer. Everyone, let's have one more round of applause for our debaters, please. They did a great job today. Both teams have displayed great debate skills and have impressed all of us today. I am grateful for all of you who partook in this competition, and thank you again very much. This will conclude the debate competition.
팀의 멋진 토론 다시 한번 감사드립니다. 수고해준 인천 마전 캠퍼스 학생들에게 다시 한번 큰 박수를 부탁드립니다.